No more. Hi, everybody. Easy Dobby. I got it. Hey there. One second, let me turn on my music. Oh, we're fading out. We're fading out. We're professionals here. Fading out like a 70s vinyl. Yeah, look at that. Okay, cool. How you doing,
All
man?
right.
Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you just fine. Yeah. How about you?
Yeah, looks great.
Okay, cool.
All right.
Let me just, man, that was a pain. I'm sorry about all that. That was like, something was up between the messaging and all and
Yeah.
everything else. So that
Microsoft likes
worked.
to make it as difficult as possible. I don't know. Yeah, they have a lot of more
Dude,
work to do.
they really do. They're just like really, really do.
I can say that I used to work there, but when I was there,
Did you
I had that ship running pretty good. But yeah, they need me. I know.
and then you left and it all fell
It
apart.
all fell apart. They hired other people, and it just went. The ghost ship steered into the wrong lake or something. All right, so this is it.
That's
We're live right now. I'm gonna
okay.
try to do. I'm just kind of eyeballing
Is
it. So it's
everything-
seven. It's ten
everything
seventeen right
look
now.
okay?
I'm gonna set a timer. Last time I went over, I didn't time it out. So
Does
basically,
my camera and my lighting look okay? I can't really
it
see
looks
very well.
way better than mine. It looks good. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Perfect. It looks professional. That I mean, that's the studio
Thank,
that I was in before, right?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the one.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Let me just set a timer because I get carried away. So we do 15 minutes, and then if we go past that, great. If we're busy, we want to do something else. We do something else. The last one, episode 3, went over. It went a whole hour, and it's because I was using Google Meet, and the free version of that has an hour limitation. So I'm curious to see what Teams will do.
No, that's great, man. This is awesome. Thanks for having me on. I
Yeah,
appreciate it.
yeah. This is cool. All right, I'm gonna change my view here. I can pin it, and then we can go side by side, and then we pin you, and then we're gonna be equals. So one person's not small and one person's not big. Now we're the same.
Cool.
I don't know if
Very
you can.
good.
You probably can't see what I can see, but I'm recording it.
Yeah.
We'll play it back later.
Okay, cool. Let me see if I can. No, it doesn't look like I can do that. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah. I'll do-
You're all right. So you're in California. I'm still in Texas for some reason. I can't explain exactly why, but I am here. But in the future, I'll either be traveling to people or they'll come to my studio wherever I build my studio. I haven't decided where that's going to be yet.
Okay, cool. Wow. Yeah, man. Are we rolling yet?
We're rolling. We're rolling right now, and we can edit out anything. Like the last time we had to edit out, one of the guests had their kid on the camera, so we had to edit out. We did this funny thing. I don't know if you saw it, but we put Brandy did it. It said redacted per the Epstein files. It was pretty funny. She is a good.
Yeah,
She's funny.
apparently can't be too careful nowadays.
No.
Um, dude. So what brought you to Texas? I haven't caught up with you in a really long
Yeah,
time.
so this is our chance to catch up. The last time we saw each other, we was probably at that show in Pacifica at Winters.
It was, yeah. I want to say I saw you one more time, but I'm not positive about that. But yeah, that was really a fun show. I think about it a lot, actually. It
Awesome.
was a
Yeah.
blast.
Yeah,
With,
I got
Iceland too.
yeah, yeah. I still have that band, but it's it's a everly rotating cast of characters with me kind of like holding it together because I keep traveling a lot and I have people in California that I'd love to fly out, but we haven't gotten to a point where we could just, fly around the globe just yet. I'm working on it.
Not yet.
We're gonna get there. Yeah, we're gonna get there. In the meantime, I'm just hiring other people to play. Like I have a team of wacky zany characters here in Texas as of like Friday. So we're gonna start booking.
That's awesome. Really, you're where are you? Are you like in the Austin area, or where'd you say you were?
I've been to Austin once so far. I'm actually in Dallas right now.
Cool. Yeah. Is there like a decent music scene there at all? Is it
There's a
kind of fun?
there's a music scene here. I can't tell if it's decent. There's a handful of venues. You know what I've learned here in Texas is that cover they call them tribute bands are so big here they're a majority, like 80% of all the shows are tribute bands. It's so the original bands I'm still kind of hunting out. I've seen them like in the shadows. I know they're there. I keep looking, but
Yeah,
the tribute bands are so big here that a lot of the people that are in original bands are in tribute bands to just to pay the bills, and they do the original stuff
totally.
on the side. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I remember thinking the same thing when I first moved to Redwood City in the Bay Area. And like I got there and it's like there's some, I mean, really fantastic tribute bands, like great musicians and that sort of thing. But yeah, it's a big business out here. And it's mostly what you see at a lot of the stuff. I mean, you get into the city, you get into San Francisco, obviously, or you get into Oakland. Um, and you see some original stuff going on. And the stuff I'm doing, like I know a lot of people who are doing original music, kind of like more like in the folk,
Yeah.
world. But there isn't really that in between. Like I came from Chicago, and Chicago's got this really great, I would almost call it like the farm leagues. Like it's a really good set of bars and like and shows you can play that are pretty much all original music kind of bands, many different styles, and like big venues, Martyrs and Shubas. And we used to play Cubby Bear all the time, which is right across from Wrigley Field, and a lot of, I mean, dozens of venues like that in Chicago. And I don't really know that there's like I think there's a lot of that in Oakland, but I haven't really seen a lot of that in, definitely not down like on the coast side as much or anything like that.
What
But
genre of music were you playing when you were in Chicago? Was it similar to what you're doing right now?
not exactly. It was a little heavier. It started off kind of like blues and funk, influenced. It was definitely like very classic rock, blues and funk kind of stuff. And then we moved into stuff that was a little more Americana. It was almost kind of like we did like a lot of stuff by the band. And we did a little bit of like Allman Brothers kind of sound and stuff. We had a couple guitar players that were really good. One of them was my brother, and a lot of really cool, intricate like guitar stuff and like some cool harmony stuff there. And yeah, it was kind of like that, Little Feet kind of sounding
Yeah,
stuff. Yeah.
nice, nice. So the music that you're doing right now, how would you describe it? What do you? Because I keep catching you, and you're always in a different state or different city or different country. So
Yeah.
what's going on with that?
Yeah, no, it's been fun, man. I mean, I've been doing a lot of different things with music, but as far as like my solo stuff, so I do that under my own name, so it's Dan Arwady. Um, Also, like I know what you mean by the rotating cast of characters a little bit, but um, and that's true a little bit with the live stuff, but I've definitely like
Mostly
kind of
for live.
solidified. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um, but I've definitely solidified into a band for recording,
cool.
and they're all like kind of close friends and some family members, and so it's a really tight knit and very cool band. I love playing with all of them. So I'm in the middle of making my second record right now. My first record I put out in September. I had a lot of success last year with a couple of the singles. One of them, somebody else got on a few different charts. There was a remix of it that went top 10 in the UK, which was pretty cool for a
Nice.
little bit. And then um, there was it randomly shot up the Spotify charts in Iceland for a little bit.
Okay, nice. All
Um,
right.
yeah,
Cool.
it was number one for a day. It was actually above Taylor Swift. I saw the screenshot, so I'm
Yeah,
very
that's
proud
right.
of
Take
it.
that, Taylor. Come on, leave some room
That's
for the
it.
rest of us.
And she immediately came back and slapped me back right
Ah,
along
and then she
after that.
re-releases her track in Icelandic or something like that. Come on, man, make it fair. It's not a fair fight.
The minute she put Taylor's version after, I was forget it. I was
Nah, it's all
my
done. Yeah, that's cool. So,
um
with the first album, did you press a vinyl?
I did.
Awesome.
I just got them actually. Yeah, they look really good. Yeah, actually I got one right here. Can I show you
Yeah, let's
real
see.
fast?
Let's see.
Yeah. Um
I love vinyl.
I do too. And they did such a good job.
Yeah,
That's
nice.
um
So, what is
yeah.
that? Is that under a label or is that independent released?
No, it's independently released.
Okay.
I
You want to put it on a label? I know some labels. They still exist.
Yeah, possibly. I don't know. Actually, I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. Like, where are you at on the whole label thing? Because different people I talk to, especially like different artists, different points in their career, different things
Yep.
that they need. Like, you get a lot of different answers to that
Yep.
question
Well,
nowadays.
there's a lot of different kind of labels, and they offer a lot of different things. And I think if you could find a label that still afloat and not, having financial difficulties with the right engineers and the staff connected to them. I think it's good. But I don't know if it's still kind of as popular as it was because you can release it independently, right? You could fund everything independently. You can hire your own producers, your own mixing guys, and the label is supposed to be this network of people that, tried and true, and, hopefully it's tied to a genre. It gets a little dicey when
Right.
the label is all over the board, and I'm still on the fence about that one as far as like genre goes, because you can find a magical producer that can do mariachi and then Latin funk metal or something, but
Right.
generally they stick within what they're what they like. Generally, I think. So I think it's all in who you know. Really, on the label is just a collection of people that they all know. They've been to the same party over and over again, right?
Yeah, no, that's actually like a really, I think that's like a very good observation. And that's why I've been kind of going back and forth because I did self-fund this. I did a lot of the work. I produced it. I did about half the mixes on this record,
Yeah.
and hired out a couple other professionals to do the other mixes. Um, but and I recorded it professionally. I booked my own studio time, paid my own musicians, wrote all my own charts, did all the stuff like that. And it's like, okay, and I kind of like it that way because that's sort of the kind of music I'm kind of trying to make. Like, you know,
Yep.
I want to kind of be involved in a lot of those steps in the
Yeah,
process. And so,
if you can get a producer that can give you or a mixing engineer or whoever can give you an outside perspective. So here's a little story of what I did last year. I recorded an album, I self funded it, but I hired a mixing engineer who then became the producer, who also then replaced some of the drum tracks as well. Because I let him have artistic reign on, try to put his spin on it a little bit. Because I did all the instrumentation myself, and
okay.
but the goal was to have them as tracks that you can replace if need be. So they were like the best tracks that I was filling in the gaps until they can be replaced. So it was mainly for the drums because in my genre the drums kind of make or break the song generally.
Yeah.
But so I think if you can work with a mixing engineer or producer that can actually add a flavor onto it, it's actually beneficial. But you got to find the right person. They can also make your project not good, and then you have to redo it or something, and that's just
Yeah,
more
yeah,
time and
for
money.
sure. Yeah, I mean, it is the kind of thing. I mean, even with really good people, very professional, it's not like they do it on purpose, but it's crazy
No,
how many different ways to try to hear a song,
exactly.
and
It's an artistic interpretation. So sometimes they got it, and sometimes they don't. But you just never know. And um, I look at it like it's like a destiny kind of a thing. Inspiration comes from a place that we don't really are fully aware of. So and I think
yeah,
timing is also a thing. That's why I have a song called Timing. It's just honestly, I've actually wondered quite a bit. Like I've been at this a while, like near 30 years. One way to look at it is like, well, geez, if something has to happen by now, is it ever gonna? And it's like, but I've also been busy doing a lot of other things at the same time. So, and I'm a late bloomer, so I'm okay. Whatever happens, happens. That's why I got my fingers in so many different things other than music, like doing comedy and doing movies and TV and shoot, I think I was working on a poetry book at some point. I'm just all over the board. As long as it's artistic and it's just conveying the message from the artist, I'm all in.
I love that, man. I mean, like, I love meeting people like you that have just a lot of like just creative juice and just like need. It's just like they have all this stuff they got to get out,
Right.
and there's all these cool outlets for that.
Yeah.
That's really awesome, man. I think that's really cool.
Yeah, I got good.
How did your record come out with after all
Well,
that?
honestly, so what happened was that I had like maybe 10 tracks. I got them all tracked. I got most of them mixed. Some of them got mixed a little bit more than the others. So, and I honestly, I ran out of money because I kept throwing money at it. And I said, all
Yeah,
right,
no, it's expensive.
yeah, so much money and it wasn't really about the money, it was about the time. So I said, I wanted to release it on Halloween, and I went past that deadline. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to put it all on YouTube. I'm just going to release it as is, and I'm going to start writing new stuff. And that's what I did. And I'm happy with that. I wanted to master it and press the vinyl with this stuff, and maybe I'll do that later. But I have so much material that I'm not like hurting for songs or anything. That I have so many ideas that are coming to me. I started just giving them away to people that I would meet randomly all the time because I don't even have time for all these ideas. I just you take it
Wow.
right, whether it's a software app or it's an idea for a song or whatever. I'm just like you go with it. I don't care what you do with it. I don't care about credit. I just want to get the idea out there into the world because I think that some ideas are just that important. That's kind of how I look at it.
That's super cool, man. I mean, honestly, like I really labor over the songs I write, and it makes me write them. I mean, I think I write them somewhat fast, all things considered.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I mean, like writing is definitely the bottleneck for me
Yeah,
for like a new
I
project.
think for a lot of people, I mean, a lot of artists, they get stuck in this kind of perfectionist. They want it to be perfect. They want it to be right. I do the exact opposite. Like I can go and play a live show with no material and write an album on the fly, and I might have the world record for creating, tracking a song. Maybe not mixing a song, but at least tracking a song in one. All the stuff on YouTube is one take, the first take.
Really?
Yeah.
You just like press record, do a take, and
That's
that's
it.
it.
If it's like, yeah,
That's
pretty much
amazing.
because I'm pretty well rehearsed before, so I rehearse it and then I record it and I'm done. I don't like multiple takes and making it. I like the imperfections are what make it sound real to me, especially in the
Sure.
genre I'm working in, which is kind of, I don't even really know, some sort of punk rock and roll, something something. Um,
Yeah,
okay,
I would have called it some like kind of punk stuff
it's
that you do.
something. Yeah, I mean, if
It's
I
super fun. Like I love them. Playing that show together was really fun.
Yeah, I had a
The
really
blast.
good time. The crowd really loved it. You surprised a lot of people. You were playing my friend's drum set, and he was just like, "What's happening right now?"
That's yeah. That was cool, man. It's always a good crowd at Winners. It's like one of my favorite places to
Yes, I love
play
I
in.
love that place. I love the guy that owns that place. I've been to a bunch of shows there, and
Yeah, see,
yeah, yeah, it's very cool. I hung out with his I think his significant other at another show. I think we were at that show Fear
oh yeah.
where we did and she was there. So okay, we set a timer. We have hit it. The 15 minutes is done. It
Done.
goes by
That's
so fast, and now we're
that's
in
crazy.
we're in sudden death overtime.
We're in Vegas. Yeah.
He's like, stop this. That's cool. See, that's when you're having a good time. Like you say, time flies when you're having fun, right?
Indeed. Indeed it does. That
Yep.
is fast. That was crazy. I thought that was 5 minutes,
Right,
maybe.
exactly. Like you've heard
Yeah.
of that phrase, when you're in the flow, like the concept of time kind of disappears, and then 3 hours later, you're just like, what happened? It's like I
Oh
was,
yeah,
yeah.
man.
It's kind of,
That's music to me. I mean, like when I'm in
yeah.
the studio, that
Mm-hmm.
happens. Like
Yep.
when I'm writing something that happens for sure. Even when I'm practicing,
Yep.
I think what I really love about it, I get into
Yeah.
that state of mind, and I love that state of mind.
Yeah,
It's like one of
it's
my
like a
favorite.
trance. Like I've gotten into it where like when you're in a group of other creative people, like a writing team, or you're just brainstorming a new whatever. And I love it. I mean, if I could be in it all the time, I probably would. And honestly, I kind of am really
It
because
sounds like that you've got all this cool stuff on your like. I mean, what's up with the movie thing and the comedy and
yeah.
all?
So okay, so it's very funny. So in July of last year, I I went on I went on a national comedy tour with no I didn't book any dates. I just showed up at comedy clubs.
Right?
Okay, so
That's crazy.
are you familiar with like a pop-up party or a pop-up event where they show
Sure.
up? Okay,
Yeah.
so it's basically the same concept of that, except I do pop-up stand-up. And I'll do pop-up DJ. I'll pop up as a DJ. I just show up in front of the club and I start talking to people, and then they let me in the club for some reason. I mean, and then I watch the show, and I'm just like socializing with the patrons, and I don't want to be on stage. That's not my goal. I don't because I don't really like it. The stand-up comedy world. I don't know how you familiar are with that whole genre of art. It's
As a fan, but not really. I've never like done it. I don't know kind of what goes on
you,
behind the scenes.
yeah,
Fascinating to me.
yeah.
Yeah.
I can tell you what goes on behind the scenes. There's a lot of overlap between the comedy world and the musician world, and that's kind of how uh, see what happened is I was doing a show a long time ago, and I was doing this thing where I don't know why, but in between songs, or there was a tech problem or a tuning of a drum or whatever, there would be this gap of time, and I would just start talking to the crowd, and I guess I was telling jokes because someone came up after the show and they go, "Hey, I liked your set, but are you a musician or are you a comic?" And I go, "Both." And that was
Actually, that's a huge. asset and gift as a musician, because dead time, I feel like that happens to everybody, and it's hard to know what to do with that, you
Right.
know?
Yeah. But
So
Bo Burnham, he's a comic that I follow. He has a stand-up special on YouTube and Netflix called What. He does he does a combination of music and jokes, and he has this joke about every moment can be a comedic moment. Every moment, and he's just walking to another mic on the stage. It's really funny. He's brilliant.
yeah, he's great. I've seen some of his stuff on YouTube. He's awesome. Dude, that's crazy. So you really just like you just kind of were like traveling around and doing that? Is that
Yeah, so
like
I did. Yeah, so the tour started in July. I got into an SUV and I just went from club to club. I started at Helium in Portland, then I went to Seattle and hit like 3 clubs there, and then I came back down and I just hit all the big cities with the big clubs. I did Sacramento, I did Reno, and I forget all the cities. I got to Vegas,
that's so cool.
and then I had some car trouble, and then yeah, then I ended up back in Portland, and and then I ended then I ended up in Texas. My buddy called me up, or I called him, and I was like, "Hey, I'm doing this thing. I kind of got stuck in Portland because of finance. I basically invested I put all my cards on the table. I said comedy, yeah, and then I had some people steal from me, so I got stuck there. So he said, come to Texas, and I was like, I didn't have a reason to say no, so I was like, I never lived there before, so I took my RV with my motorcycle in tow, and I just drove it to Texas. Oh, and then I looked at the map and I was like, oh, okay, well, I'm going through Idaho and all these. And I go, wait a second. I know a record guy. I know a record producer in Idaho that just moved there from LA. So I called him up. I said, hey, I'm driving through your state. He texted me his address. And that was okay. So the band Isotope Soap is based on a song by Giza X and the Mummy Men that was released in like 1977. Giza X, I've been talking to him in LA for like 5 years or 10 years or something. I was like, hey, I got a band that's based on your song you wrote, and we've been trying to meet all this time. So we've been texting this whole time, and he just moved to Idaho. So I stopped by his house, and he invites me in. I meet his wife, and he has me stay at his house for a couple of days, and he's just the coolest guy ever. And
That's awesome.
he gives me Isotope Soap, the actual soap that has the logo on it that he sells on Etsy. he gives
Dude, that's
he
amazing.
gives me a bunch of vinyl because he has a record label, his Giza X Records.
Okay.
He's just hella cool. And that was the
That's
how I
awesome.
got to Texas. I went to Idaho. I went to Utah. I spent a couple days in Salt Lake, and I went to that Mormon Tabernacle Choir, that big
Yeah.
dome. Have you been inside there?
No, no, I know of it from like the records, really.
Oh, it's
That's like
so
why.
good. It sounds amazing in there. Like whoever made that room, it might have been Jesus himself. It's so perfectly symmetrical, and oh, it was really good. And yeah, I spent a couple days there, and at every city I go, I just hit up all the venues and the comedy clubs, and yeah, that was the longest road trip I've ever taken. So I'm parked it here, and I just been poking around here, and I've been to almost all of the comedy clubs here so far. And I've
Wow.
been to Austin for a week. That was really fun. But I got to go back because there's a whole bunch of stuff there. Yeah, and then the
So
story just keeps going.
dude, that's a crazy story. So like, I mean, are you making any, I mean, excuse me for asking this, but I'm just kind of curious, like how you could kind of like make something like that work. Like, are you making any money with the pop-up thing? Is there any business model to it or anything
So
like that? Like,
there is. Hold on.
big tips? Like, how does it work?
Yeah. So hang on a second. My screen just reset for someone. A second. Let me minimize this. The answer. So what happened was is that. So the answer basically is sort of. But what happened was is that I was in Portland in June, and what happened? The event came up was the 40th anniversary of the Goonies weekend happened in Astoria, Oregon, and I was like, Astoria is like an hour away, so I just popped in, and I always have this Bluetooth speaker. It's a Bose PA system that I use. It's really loud. I could power a whole club with it, and I would just show up and start playing music. And that's what I did in Astoria. I did like 7 DJ sets there of just requests of people walking on the street. And what happened was I showed up outside this venue and they were complaining about the DJ. They came out. If you look on my Instagram, there's a video of a Bon Jovi song where everyone's singing and dancing on the street. So that was like an hour or 2 hour set of music. And what happened was I was wearing a jacket and I looked at my pocket after the set and I pulled out all this money. They were stuffing money in my pockets without me looking. I was just taking
Whoa.
requests. I made like I was surprised the amount of cash that they were able to. I didn't even notice, which is really the funniest part. I was like, hey, I guess I'm a professional DJ now. I didn't know.
Better than them taking money out of your jacket
That's
without you
true.
knowing.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. No, I'm always curious about that because honestly, the business model of like, that like when you're at that level, that's actually always been pretty fascinating to me.
Yeah.
Like, and that's true for comics, for
Hmm.
people who are trying to make independent movies, people who are
Oh yeah.
trying
Oh yeah.
to be musicians. It's like, okay, well, like, how can you make something like that sort of work?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Well, I figured it
Because
out. I
and
figured it out. So, outside of the performance world, I work in the information technology world. I've been at it almost as long as the computer stuff, and now I'm a consultant. So they just bring me in when there's a problem they can't figure out. So I'll do a project for a week or two or whatever, how long it is, and then that generates so much revenue. I just take all that and I reinvest it into the art, and that funds everything. And also, I'm at a point now where I'm talking to investors and executive producers and people that have actual funding, and we're doing contracts. And once you pass that kind of, I don't know, speed bump, whatever you call it, you get to the next room where things are making a lot more sense. It's really just kind of logical. Like anyone who invests want to get their money back plus a little bit. That makes perfect sense. If I had $1 million, that's what I'd want.
sure, yeah, right. You wouldn't just want it to get burned, right?
Right,
That
exactly.
makes sense.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, what are you working on right now? Like, what's your big thing?
Okay, so right now I just filmed a I just filmed a pilot last week that I'm going to be pitching. I got this big pitch meeting on Saturday. I don't want to say all the details, but it's a famous it's a famous comic that's going to be here in town. I've got it all set up. I've been working on this for 6 months. I filmed it in last week. We're editing it starting tomorrow. It's actually being edited right now, and then the next couple of days it'll be done. And then I'm gonna pitch it. And then if he gives me the green light, I'm going to pitch it to Comedy Central.
Wow,
That's my
dude,
big.
that's amazing.
That's my big one. That's a TV one. So I have like a handful of TV projects after that, and then I'm involved in a couple of movies. So I'm just kind of doing whatever because I'm getting a lot of people contacting me now, which is good. That's kind of what you want. And I just did an independent movie this weekend where I shot for 2 days straight. Oh, it was a long one. But we did it. I was behind the scenes in that one. I don't know what role I'm gonna be in. But I think it's gonna be possibly like assistant second director or something like that. But I ran all the sound too and all the boom operators and everything. So it's fun.
Wow.
It's a more complicated process than tracking audio. It's video and audio. But then you also have angles and all this lighting. I did all the lighting, and it's more complicated. But it's kind of natural for me because of all the studying that I've been doing and all the college work that I've done prior, and just my love of cinema. Really, I love that medium of storytelling, especially movies. I like it when it starts and has an end. TV is okay, but I don't really have a lot of time to watch series like a lot of people do. So I'm still on the fence on but if it's a TV series that's you can watch out of order, I'm all in. Like this shirt, this is Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I don't know if you've seen that show.
Yeah, yeah, totally.
I
I
love
was
that
wondering if
show
you could
because you
yeah.
because you can watch any of those episodes out of order and it's perfectly fine. I and Family Guy is kind of the same way. I love that too. So for busy people,
Yeah.
I think that's really kind of important.
Dude, that's really cool. I'm impressed that you I mean, you really do jump around. I mean, especially all those, like you were saying, like all those different media have completely different like techniques, different things you got
Yep,
to know,
yep.
different ways that you can tell a story.
Yep, yeah. I
It's
love
impressive.
there's so many different mediums that I love. Like I love video games a lot. Apps are really fun. Um, I People have been telling me about that Sphere in Vegas. Have you been there yet?
The Sphere, no, I haven't been there, but yeah, many of my friends have. It's supposed
Yeah.
to be amazing.
That's like
Yeah.
next level. Like what? It's like so immersive. They've told me about it. I haven't been there yet. I want to go. And man, someday maybe I don't know if I want to make something that will because it's so visually I don't know, intoxicating. I don't know how to describe that. So many screens. I tend to gravitate towards the audio part, but I do love the storytelling part. So it just But the audio, I think, is like Danny Elfman is one of my people that I really look towards as far as like a really, it's like an inspiration for what maybe I'll do. Hopefully, get the chance to do something like that someday. I've
Like
only
almost like film scoring kind of?
Yeah, film scoring. Yeah, I'm doing two films right now. But
Wow.
I want to get to a point where I can actually score an orchestra, which is the next level. Like I could score a little bit on like, rock and roll type instruments and like some acoustic stuff, but I want to get to, French horn and like I started playing clarinet when I was a little kid, but to score for it is a completely different thing. It's very complicated. A lot of moving parts and swells and chords that are you can barely tell that they're there because it's an orchestra. It's very complicated. But I love it. I love things that are very difficult. So hence my work at Microsoft.
I mean, yeah. Well, I believe in you, man. I mean, you seem like the kind of guy that could go and pick something like that up, which is pretty cool. And I mean, yeah, I know it's a really complicated world. I know a super small amount about it, because my uncle growing up was really immersed in that world and was kind of starting to get into film scoring, kind of trying to do that. It wanted to do it from like an early age, from
Yeah.
like when he was a kid. So
Yeah.
yeah, no, I mean it's an entire art into itself.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Obviously.
Are you familiar with the work of Hans Zimmer by any chance? The
Oh
composer?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
he has a master class that I began watching and I'm still trying to digest it. It's very complicated. In fact, a lot of the master classes are. They're just really in-depth stuff, but I love it. Like he has the story about how he did the score to Interstellar. I don't know if you heard that.
Mhm.
Did you hear how he did that? How the
Oh
director
no, I didn't score me, but I knew he did that score. Yeah.
but the director gave him like minimal notes, like he didn't know what the movie was about. He just like make the score about this feeling or something like that, and that's a super interesting, fascinating for
Yeah,
me.
that's amazing.
I was like, and
It's so crazy.
that's why the soundtrack kind of like stands out a little bit in contrast to the movie, but I think kind of in a good way. But it's just it's art, so it's like it's subjective, and it could work, and I like when the score matches a little bit closely to the acting and the emotion of what they're trying to convey. I think that makes a little
Oh
bit
yeah.
more sense.
I saw a really cool clip a couple of months ago, and it's John Williams, and he's sitting at a piano and with Steven Spielberg, and I think it was E.T. that they
Yeah.
were in the middle of scoring,
Okay.
and Steven's like, it's like, okay, this is the part where they first find E.T. or something along those lines. And John's kind of like doing these things like, what if we kind of do a little bit of surprise? And it was just beautiful. You're watching these two people just like they seemed so meant for each other.
Yeah. I think
It's
they
really
were. Yeah.
amazing.
Just like what is it? Tim Burton and Elfman. Just like
Oh, yeah.
simpatico, they just match, and that's why they did so many projects together, and they all worked. Some of them are a little similar, but I like the similarities. Like
Yeah,
the
I
soundtrack
mean,
to Beetlejuice is one of my favorites of all time.
I remember. I think Elfman did "Nightmare Before Christmas,"
Yep.
right? I
Yep.
don't know if that's true,
Yep.
but I remember the music in that like really vividly as well.
Yep.
And that's such a visual movie. And it's like you got this music really just, I mean, it's amazing the way music brings visual to things to life.
Yeah.
And it's also kind of vice versa. Like I noticed that even when I do videos for my stuff, like, when you have something to look at while you're listening, it has this ability to like focus
Mm-hmm.
the message
Yep.
and get the story across. It doesn't become as ambient as music usually is. Maybe it really makes it, you can really highlight things that way.
Yeah,
It's really cool.
it changes it. It could change it for the positive. It could change it for the negative. Like I like listening to music with no visuals, and then what I'll do is I'll watch the music video, and then it'll change it for me in some way because the visuals are like really good. But I mean, that was the whole aspect of MTV and how they, that whole the like if your music video was really great, but your music in itself is like kind of mediocre, you can kind of get away with it because your music video is so good and entertaining in itself.
Totally, yeah. Well, and I think it was like there just weren't a lot of good music videos at the beginning. No one really knew how to work with that medium yet.
Yeah,
And
brand
I
new.
mean, a few people did, right?
Yeah,
Like a few people like made it
Genesis.
work.
Genesis did with those
Genesis,
puppets.
yeah, Talking Heads, I think.
Yeah, oh yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah, totally. David Byrne was probably
and
directly
eventually,
involved.
Yeah, and he's such a visual guy, like he's like someone you just can't take your eyes off him a little bit
Right.
anyway. And
Especially
so,
when he's wearing a suit that's too big that makes his head look small. I've never seen anyone pull that off ever. It's like, how did you come up with that? What does that even mean? I'm so confused. Tell me more.
it's so uniquely David Byrne. I know you're right. I just got a my wife just got me a T-shirt because I think it's the 20th or the 25th. I think it's 25th anniversary of Stop Making Sense.
Hmm.
Um, and he's wearing that giant suit and all that kind of stuff.
I love that giant suit.
Super
It's
cool.
like it's like
It's great.
man. It's like I don't know how he got to that. It's almost like an Andy Warhol moment or something. Like, what were you thinking? I don't get it. But I support you. But also, we're confused. We're concerned. Are you okay?
He really did what he said he was going to do. He stopped making sense, and I
Yeah.
think that was awesome.
Yeah, that's true. There is a theme, like deep rooted. That makes perfect sense. That's so cool. So what's on the next what's on the agenda for you coming up next? Are you doing any more traveling, or are you tracking the second album?
I'm tracking the second album. I think we got about we got 6 tunes tracked. I've got 8 tunes written, so I got to go track another 2. I've got studio time booked. I'm back in Chicago in July, and we like to record at Electrical Audio, which
Okay.
is it's Steve Albini's old studio out there. It's really a cool studio. It's a really awesome place. And so when I go back there, a lot of the people in my band are from Chicago because people I knew from back when I lived there. My brother, my friend Harry Griffin, my friend Jeff Mills. I'm flying out my friend Cassie Annunziata. She sings vocals with me here in California. She and I both live in Pacifica. So we got a couple days in the studio. We're gonna do another 3 tunes. So I got to write another couple of songs probably
Okay.
between now and then. Um, and then I should pretty much have what I need to release something like another LP, probably like in August or September. I
Nice.
got a show booked out in Arlington Heights where I grew up, and actually just found out that all the tables are sold out, so it's looking like it's going to be a really packed house. So
Cool.
that's going to be fun.
Do you ever do any
Um,
collaborations with other artists to come in and spice up some tracks, anything like that? They do it a lot in the hip hop world, I believe, the pop world.
I do it a lot with I have not really done that from a writing perspective, which I think was probably like the difference between like me versus like maybe like the hip hop world, where maybe you have another like rapper come in and actually write a verse or something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
Haven't done that with my solo stuff. Done plenty of that like in other parts of music life, but not with this project. I have had a lot of different musicians kind of play on it from a session musician point of view. So been playing with a lot of many different really great players, both live and in the studio, and that's been really a blast. I've been playing with this one. I hired this one really great cellist named Chloe Mendola to do a lot of the cello.
I
My
love
first
cello.
record, me too.
That's probably my
Phenomenal
favorite. It's
instrument.
probably my favorite instrument. It's close to a
Yeah,
grand
same.
piano or something. Yeah, it's right up there.
And it's such an expressive instrument, and it can play so many different roles. And you get somebody who's in such beautiful command of that, and it's really cool.
Definitely.
We just went I just met her up at Hyde Street Studios in San Francisco, and we had a night there where we were putting a bunch of cello on a few songs. It was
Cool.
really a blast.
Awesome.
So that was cool. We just finished up some vocals and things like that. And so, anyways, yeah, the record's coming along. I just got back from Nashville. We did some recording out there at Dark Horse Studios, which is a really cool studio. And I'm in the middle of kind of helping produce the mixes right now. And man, they're coming out really great. I don't know. I mean, it sounds like you do a lot of things similarly to me, but I like to get takes where everybody's playing at the same time, got a lot of energy.
Yeah.
Usually, like, tends to be like between take 2 to 4 tend to be my favorite takes. I mean, as a rule, because everyone's a little bit warm, a
Yep.
little bit less jittery than take 1.
They're not worn out
And
yet.
yeah, exactly. And you get to take 6 or 7, and it's like, okay, we probably got what we need already, And then,
Cool.
you know, so that's how we did all of it. I mean, we captured all of it pretty much live, and then I'd go back and do the vocals.
Yeah, yeah, that's
Kind of
pretty
thing.
much how I do it as well. I like to do it live because whenever you don't, it's you piece it together and you're doing to a click, and it does sometimes it just doesn't feel quite natural, in my opinion. And I honestly I like it when the song kind of speeds up and slows down subtly, so that you can kind of you're all feeling each other in the same room. I yeah,
Absolutely.
same page, same
Yeah.
page.
No,
Well,
no, that's a powerful tool actually. Like, I mean, you can kind of slingshot things like into a chorus a little bit and kind of like
yeah,
slow down and then go,
right.
I mean, I use that trick as a drummer a lot.
Hmm.
Um, we tend to do most of our stuff to a click because I have to, because the way I record it is typically I'm playing acoustic guitar, everybody else is playing around me, whatever the instrumentation is. And then I'll go and overdub drums
Yeah,
over it because I do all my own drums on my stuff too.
sure.
So we've done most of that stuff to a click. We did a few tunes not to a click, and I actually laid down the drums first, and we were all just playing, and it was organic. And
Mm,
my latest single, this song called "Only Love," that's not to a click at all. It's just a total, just like a live in the room recording, and I went back and did the vocals over it
nice.
pretty much.
Yeah, that'll
It's
work.
really fun.
Well, if you ever wanted to, so I was just collaborating with another band, a San Francisco band that you may or may not have heard of. They're called Fussy Parts, right? And they brought me in as their second guitar. So basically, I just did a bunch of lead work, and it was just kind of filling in the gaps and as weird as possible. Robert Fripp is one of my big influences as far as guitar goes. So I just do a lot of just holding notes and feet, like Jimi Hendrix kind of stuff. You know, just subtly around the vocal when it's not stepping on anything. And but I love that stuff. I can almost add that to anything that's in key, generally.
Yeah, yeah, man, that's pretty cool. What did you do? You were doing like studio stuff for
Well, I
them, like
did
recording
no,
and
I
stuff?
was doing live stuff for them. So we
Oh,
all I sat in with one show in San Jose. That was one of the last shows I did, and just kind of made it weird and filled in the filled out. I kind of like did what the equivalent of like a synthesizer would do. Kind of, I call the synth as like a glue where it just you don't have any of the gaps because they're all tight with their rhythmic parts. They have these intricate the genre in which they are playing in is this really interesting combination of metal, reggae, and they have a female rapper. And
jeez.
it's such yeah, and then I put a psychedelic tint on it a little bit, and it's just like what's happening right now? How did I get to this show?
That is incredible. I don't even know what that sounds like.
It's pretty
That's
good because
amazing.
the vocals is really good. Everyone was really good in that band, but they were very how to say they were very tight. So I came in loose, and I think it kind of balanced it out.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude. That sounds like a lot of fun.
It was fun for me. I did, yeah. As long as I knew the key that they were in, I was like, all right, I'll just hang around in a D sharp for a little while.
That's sweet, man. Really cool.
Hmm.
Um, well, hey, man, thanks so much for having me on, by the way. It's
Yeah,
really been
totally. Yeah,
fun.
this is totally fun. We just have a little chat. We'll put it on the internet for no reason in particular, and and then
Yeah,
eventually we'll do this in person, and it'll be great.
I would love to do that, man. Next time you're around, let me know. And
Yeah,
we'll
I'll
hang
be
out.
yeah, I'll just do
Shoot or
some
something.
traveling. I'm going to be doing some more, and then and if I'm doing things right, I'll be kind of traveling so much that I'm like gonna hate traveling. I'll probably get to that point eventually, but that's okay. I gotta go to where the show is. So a lot of these towns, they don't go out to other towns to see that. Expect the artist to come to them for some reason. I just
Of course.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I get it.
And no, I mean it's crazy. Even in the Bay Area, like I mean, I play the coast side a lot, and like a lot of people come out and see me, and it's really supportive and all that stuff. And even if I go up to San Francisco, which is 30 minutes north, right? Many people won't come up
Yeah, it's
there.
too far.
It's
Yeah.
like it's the minute you're like in some different thing, it's like
I don't
you're
like the
starting
parking there. It's too far.
right.
30 minutes is not far at all, but it's a whole thing. Like San Francisco, I call that place its own country. Really, it's got different laws and different rules and different customs, and so I get that.
Yeah, I know it's true, man. It really does. I mean, that's a good way to think of it. So, well, anyways, man, always to shoot me a text or whatever. Stay in touch. It'd be great to see you, and
Absolutely,
maybe we
I'll
can do and all that.
totally. Yeah, we'll stay in
So,
touch and good luck on your ventures. And yeah, we'll talk more again. Thanks for coming on. Thanks for doing this.
yeah, man. Thanks for having me. This was a
Uh,
lot of fun. See you
awesome.
around,
All
buddy.
right, let's see it.
Bye.
Let's see it. All right. Well, there you go. That was Dan. Dan. And we'll see you later, guys. We'll figure out how to shut this off. For some reason, my second monitor just went blah. So I'll see you later.